little yarnivores and spiderettes, Fiber Spider, back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm going to show you this really easy and quite lovely cowl that I crocheted, and it is called Astrantia. And I found the pattern on Ravelry, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description box below. This is so easy. It's a 2-row repeat. Love the pattern, very quick. And this yarn I love just as much. And as always, no, I'm not sponsored, but I love to give a good shout out when I think it's necessary. And this yarn, believe it or not, it is Red Heart Super Saver. Yes, they finally got with the program, and they have a really nice color-changing self-striping yarn. And one of the neat things about this pattern is, as you can see right here, there is a crocheted join, so you don't have to sew this cowl. You could, of course, make it just as a scarf, as an infinity scarf, or you could make it, short as a cowl. And now this piece I did with one skein with a bit left over, so that I could get the colors linked up nicely. And I bought 2 skeins out of paranoia. You know how that is. And so this is Super Saver Stripes in the colorway of Polo Stripe. And I absolutely love the way the colors change. Yes, like most Red Heart Super Saver yarn, it is a bit on the coarse side. However, I have faith that it'll soften up in the wash. At any rate, this is a really easy pattern. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, so I'm using a size I crochet hook, 5.5 millimeter, and using worsted weight yarn, nothing spectacular, just something from the stash. You know how that is. And you're going to want to start by chaining 42 stitches. And typically my scarves are more narrow than that, but I think that for this project it works out great, believe you me. So after chaining 42 stitches, pause if you need to, we're going to start right in by doing a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, like so. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. So into that 4th chain, we're going to do a double crochet. So right into here. I'm going to do a double crochet, and then into that same stitch we're going to do another double crochet. Alright, so we've got our 2 in there. Then we're going to chain 2, and then into that same stitch we're going to do 2 more double crochets for our full cluster, as it were. Okay. Then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip 3 more chains down here. So 1, 2, and 3. So into that 4th one, we're going to do a single crochet. So going right in with a single crochet, chain 1, skip 3 more chains, 2, 3, and then go in to the 4th chain with 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And so we're just going to be working our way across this base chain in this fashion of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then we have to anchor it with our little single crochet down in there. Alright, so I did my 2 doubles, 2 chains, 2 doubles, and then after that, I do my chain 1. And then, so I have to skip 4 more chains down here. So, sorry, skip 3 chains, excuse me, going into the 4th. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So into that 4th with a single crochet, like so. Chain 1, skip 3 more, and into the 4th, do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Okay, chain 1, skip 3 more chains, going into the 4th with a single crochet, chain 1, skip 3 more chains at the base, and then going into that 4th with a pair of double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, all of course within that same stitch. Okay, chain 1, and we're almost there. So after chaining 1, skip 3 chains, and then into that 4th one, do a single crochet, chain 1, skip 3 more chains, okay, into the 4th, do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, into that same stitch, chain 1, and then, if we have counted correctly, aha, yes we have, 1, 2, 3, skipping, and then into that 4th one, do a single crochet. Ta-da! All right. And so that is the end of our first row. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And so we're going to go into the next row, and I'll do a couple of repeats for you, so no worries. Don't worry about that. All right, so we'll get right into the next row. Okay, so before I go into row 2, I just want to make it clear that I did make some alterations to the pattern. You know, again, it's whatever works for you. Now, the pattern starts with the 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Then on every other row for the pattern, it then goes to doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. It's just that first row that they start with 2 doubles. But for the sake of consistency, I wanted to do the entire piece, as you can see here, with 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So you could follow the pattern in its exactness, but you know I like, excuse me, you know I like to tweak patterns. You know, by all means, if you feel like, you know, being a purist, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be a purist with the pattern, by all means, go ahead and do that. But if you want to follow along with the way that I did it, then by all means do that. You know, I like to give you guys options, not to confuse you, not to show any sort of bias in any way, but this is just the way that I did it, okay? So let's continue on with row number 2. Alrighty, so for the second row, now I did a slight variation on the pattern. The pattern calls for a chaining up of 2, but for those of you that have seen my other videos, you know that I like to start with a chaining of 3 if I'm doing the height of a double crochet. Again, personal preference. You know, I find whatever works for you, hey, work it. So I'm starting off with a chaining up of 3, because I think that that makes a nice height for a double crochet personally. And then into this single crochet from the previous row, we're going to do 2 double crochets, like so. So we've got, technically speaking, 3 double crochets. So then we chain 1, and into this chain 2 space, do a single crochet, and we chain 1 again, and then into this single crochet in the center here, we're going to do another cluster, so that is going in with our hook. We do 2 doubles, there we go. Come on. As long as it behaves, we're good, right? All right, so got the 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 doubles within that same stitch. Okay, so I got another cluster, and then we chain 1, and then into the chain 2 space here, we do a single crochet, chain 1, into the single crochet down in here, we're going to do again another cluster. If I can get in there. There we are. So it's going to be 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all within that single crochet stitch. So that's 2 doubles right there, chain 2, and 2 more doubles. Like so. Ta-da. Then chain 1, do a single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1, and then into the single crochet down here, we're going to do another cluster of 2 doubles, two chains, and 2 doubles all within that same stitch. Chain 1, into the chain 2 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, into the single crochet, we're going to do another cluster. So that's 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. All right, chain 1, and into the chain 2 space, yes, again, we do a single crochet, chain 1, and then into this single crochet right here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now, it can, of course, be a little bit tricky. Just be sure to catch both of your little V's there. You know, both of those. So just going in with 3 doubles. And that, my dears, is the end of the second row. Yes, indeed. And that's really all there is to it. Need a wide-angle lens here. The beauty of the pattern is that if you want to connect the end to the end so that you can make it into a cowl or into a Mobius scarf or an infinity scarf, what have you. If you want to, I'm going to show you how to do that. I just want to do another couple of rows just so that I know you guys got this pattern down. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a bit. So I'm just going to keep stitching on for you, for a little bit, and then I'll show you how to do the connect if you so choose to do so. All right, back in a flash. All right, so for the next row, in this case, row 3, we're going to start by chaining up 1, turn the work, and into this first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and then into the single crochet in the center here, we're going to do a cluster. So that is 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles, I don't know if you can hear in the background, it's pouring rain. Kind of nice ambient white noise sound, if you will. All right, so we did our cluster. And so I'm going to chain 1 into the chain 2 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, and then into the single crochet, we're going to do another cluster, so that's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, all within that single crochet stitch, chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 1, and then into this single crochet, do 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. Chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 1, do a cluster into this next single crochet here, so that's 2 doubles, 2 chains, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. Chain 1, single crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 1, cluster into this single crochet down right in here, 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. All right, chain 1, and then I think this is probably the trickiest part, just because I'm neurotic. After chaining 1 here, into the third chain, so that's 1, 2, and 3, into the third chain of this double crochet, so to speak, we're going to do a single crochet, and that is the end of row 3. All right. And of course, if you want this lacier, you could use a bigger hook, what have you. At any rate, we'll do another row, and yeah, enough of my rambling. Alrighty, so to start, technically speaking, row 4, chain up 3, turn the work, and then into this first single crochet stitch, do 2 more double crochets, because that chaining of 3 counts as our first, chain 1, into the chain 2 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, into the single crochet down in here, going to do another cluster. So that's 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. Chain 1, into the chain 2 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, into the single crochet, we're going to do another cluster, so that's a double, another double, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. And like so many of the projects that I have done tutorials for, this one I really like because it's only a 2-row repeat, so you can really get into some sort of Zen mindful state, which that I love that. So, alright, so I did my 2 doubles, 2 chains, 2 doubles, chain 1 after that, into the next chain 2 space, do a single crochet. So you can really get lost in the pattern. Chain 1, into the next single crochet, do another cluster of 2 doubles. Chain 2, and 2 doubles. Chain 1, into the next chain 2 space, do a single, chain 1, into the next single crochet, do another cluster of 2 doubles, 2 chains, 2 doubles. All right, almost to the end here. Okay, so I chained 1, so into the chain 2 space, do a single. Okay, chain 1, and then into this final single crochet stitch, do 3 doubles. That's 1, and 2, and 3. Alrighty. Alright, so I'm going to do one more repeat row for you, and then I'm going to show you how to do the connect. Alright. Now, of course, if you're just doing a flat scarf, you do not need to worry about which row you end on. You know, that's totally irrelevant. But if you want to be able to do the connect the way that I'm going to show you, this next row is going to be the row that you're going to want to end on as far as the repeat is concerned. So, in that case, let's get right into it. So, chaining 1, turn the work. Into this first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, into the single crochet stitch, we do a cluster, chain 2, and 2 more doubles into that same stitch. And by no means do I wish to be overtly repetitive or redundant, but I really like to make sure that you guys really have the pattern down pat. Alright, so I did my chain 1, into the next chain 2 space, do a single, chain 1, do a cluster into this single crochet down here. So that's 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles, all in that single crochet. Oops. Chain 1, into the chain 2 space, do a single, chain 1, into the single crochet, do a cluster of 2 doubles, 2 chains, and 2 doubles. And if nothing else, it's nice to just sit together and stitch together, you know. It's always nice. So I did my cluster, a chain 1, and a single crochet into the next chain 2 space, chain 1, into the next single, we're going to do another cluster. So that's 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 more doubles. There you go. Chain 1, and then into the chain 2 space, do a single, chain 1, into the single down in here, we're going to do another cluster, so that's 2 doubles. Here. Okay, I've got 1. Okay, so that's 2, chain 2, and 2 more doubles, chain 1, and then again going into the top chain there, do a single crochet as our last stitch for the row. And there we are. All right, so as I've said, this is the row that you wish to end on if you're going to do the connect. Just remember, it is the row where you start and end with a single crochet, not the chaining up of 3, but the single and the single, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on this piece. Reason being is that if you're using a piece, with yarn where the color changes, it does help to sort of finagle and try to line it up as far as the color change. Now, I didn't know if I wanted to go into the second skein of yarn, so that's why I have this much left over, because even though I love the center, there wasn't enough yarn for me to get through a whole sequence of color. So that's why I stopped where I did, okay? So I'm going to get situated, and then we will do the connecting row. All right, so we're now up to the connecting row. And so, like I said, we need to end with a row where we have a single crochet at either end. And also, if you are using a color-changing yarn, try to line it up and figure out where your next row is going to be as far as the color is concerned. That's why I ended the skein where I did. So without further ado, let's get into it. So now this is going to be a little bit tricky because my camera is at a really wonky angle, but I'm going to do the best I can for you. All right, so going to go in to my last row here that I did, and going to chain up 2, and then we're going to go in to our beginning here, okay? And we're just going to, after doing the chain 2 here, we're going to go into the first stitch, which is right here, with a slip stitch. Okay. So sometimes it helps to hold the 2 pieces facing together like this. And I'm going to try to make this as clear as I possibly can. So going into that stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch like so, and then we need to finish up our cluster here by doing 2 more doubles into this first single crochet. Like so. Alrighty. Okay, so we finished up our first cluster. And then we need to do another slip stitch. This time it's going to be through this chain 2 space here, and it's going to be underneath this space here. Okay, right into here. Okay, not into here, but into here. All right, so like I said, this is a little tricky filming, but please bear with me. Okay, so we have our cluster here. So then going in underneath, and then through the space there. Okay, we're going to do our slip stitch. Like so. All right. And then into this single crochet stitch, we're going to do our 2 doubles. Okay. And then we're going to need to do another slip stitch. This time going all the way up here. So that's underneath. And then grab that yarn. This is a little tricky because, like I said, the way I have my camera situated here. So pulling through, slip stitch, and then 2 more doubles into this stitch down in here. All right. There we are. Okay. Then we need to do another slip stitch going into this chain 2 space here and this space up here, like so. Okay. And then into this single crochet stitch, we're going to do the 2 double crochets. Okay. And then going all the way up. Going to go into this space here. So going underneath. Pull the yarn through for a slip stitch. Okay. And then we need to do 2 more doubles into this single crochet to finish off our cluster. All right, so let's just pull back and see where we're at. Okay, so as you can see, we started with our cluster. And we slip stitched into here. And then we moseyed along and we did 2 more. And we slip stitched into here. And we just worked our way along. Now, of course, by all means, you could sew this, but this is just another way of showing that I wanted to present to you. All right, so just going to keep right along. All right, so now we need to do another slip stitch. So it's going to be this space down in here and this space right here, like so. Okay. And then into the next single crochet, we're going to start by doing our 2 doubles. Okay. And then we need to slip stitch into that space right there. Actually, I gotta get my yarn on the right side here, sorry. Right into there. So we do our slip stitch, and then we do 2 more doubles into that same single crochet stitch. Like so. All right, then we need to do another slip stitch connecting this loop down in here to this loop up here. So going underneath and then through that space right there. Like so. Okay, and then into the single crochet here, 2 doubles. Okay, and then into this space right there is where we're going to go next. This color is probably blinding you. I apologize for that. So we slipped right there. And then into that same space, we do 2 more doubles. Okay. And then into this space and this space, we're going to do another slip stitch. And we are almost at the end. Yes, see, we are. All right. So then into this last single crochet, we're going to do 3 doubles. And then, last but not least, we are going to slip stitch into the first stitch. It's a little bit easier if I show you this way. So right into there. But of course my yarn was on the wrong side, naturally. Okay. All right, my dears. And that is how you can connect your piece. Now, did I do that right? Actually, no, I did not. See? I always am willing to correct myself. Excuse me. After doing our 3 doubles, pardon me. Hey, everybody makes mistakes, right? Okay. See, actually, where I should have gone is into this stitch here. Excuse me. Right there. See? With the slip stitch. There we are. All right, so this has been quite an adventure. Let's see, nice clean edge going on there and there. And so that is how it looks. Now it is a little bit raised, if you will. Now what you could of course always do is turn this inside out and it does look a little bit better, you know. But this way you can avoid the hassle of sewing, which, yes, I know it can be a hassle, but I absolutely love this project and I love the yarn. So aside from technical difficulties, you know, see, that's a pretty neat seam, you know, and the way this flows, I think that's really quite nice. So like I said, aside from technical difficulties and aside from me making tweaks on the pattern, I really hope that you enjoyed this project as much as I did, because you know I love doing this stuff. So listen, if you like this, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Your support means the world to me. And if you have any questions, comments, what have you, I will do my best to answer any questions you might have. If you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe, because I have videos coming out as often as I can do them, because this is my passion, this is what I love. So listen, until next time, my dears, stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.